Been doing a series of videos all about living with visual impairment, but something came across my inbox that has got me rather pissed off. Yes, I know we've all been making fun of Donald Trump, but putting aside all of that, I think it's more important to actually look at what's happening in America on the ground, the social level of what is occurring, whether as a result of Mr. Trump or more just broadly, that actually led to him becoming the president. And an incident occurred last year at Windfern High in Huston, Texas. And it wasn't the first time it had happened. An African-American student there called India Landry refused to stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Now, it should be stated here that standing for the Pledge of Allegiance is something that is expected. It is a form of imposed loyalty and patriotism. The idea being you get kids to always stand and do the Pledge of Allegiance, and they will then become loyal to the nation as default. It's tantamount to having people in the Catholic Church do the liturgy on default without even thinking about it. But be that as it may, it is part of American culture. And as time has gone on, especially since 1952, many concessions have been made. And one such at Windfern was that if a student disagreed, they had to get a letter from their parent or guardian stating that they disagreed with standing and why. That had to be then cited by the principal, and once that was signed off on, that student didn't have to stand up for the Pledge of Allegiance. And it should be stated right from the top that on the number of occasions Miss Landry didn't stand, it was a case of her not standing after permission was sought. So there is no rules or laws being broken here. She is not guilty of committing a crime, unless actually thinking for yourself and exhibiting freedom and an understanding of politics in America is now some form of sedition, in which case good luck to everybody in the US. Because last year she sat down again for the Pledge of Allegiance. In her opinion, the flag did not represent liberty or justice, at least not for people in her state. And by that she meant people of colour and females, and I would say she's by and large probably correct, especially with the large numbers of women being attacked and raped and the large number of African American killings in the US. And somebody decided to make something of it, especially as around that time President Trump was tweeting nonsensical about how unpatriotic it was not to stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. In any event, the school district have decided that they're going to take it to court. That she's not, after she was expelled and her family put up a fight. So it's now a case of the Cypress Fairbank Independent School District up against her and her family and their lawyers. The state's highest legal representative, Ken Paxton, who it should be noted is up for re-election, is representing the school. It's really fucking disturbing. It comes down to, should a person be able to exhibit freedom, exert that freedom publicly, and if they're not allowed to, if this goes against Miss Landry, essentially what is being said is you're allowed to have freedom, but only to the extent that the state approve of. If you're the wrong gender, if you're the wrong colour, or if it just doesn't suit the current political narrative, then we're going to smack you the fuck down. If you're Yay West and you go on television in a Meg hat and offend people and follow it up by saying that you want slavery, oh no, that's cool, that's totally patriotic. But should you say that the flag to you personally does not represent justice or liberty, something that you are within your rights to say in a free and fair democratic society that, let's face it, never shuts up about their freedom of speech and expression, how can that be something that has led to Huston versus this girl and her family for not breaking the law, for not doing anything wrong, for just encouraging actually acting as everything that anyone who knows anything about America would tell you is how you're meant to act, with, you know, being true to yourself and freedom of expression. Well, you know, I could go on here and wax lyrical about why the you know, in God section of the pledge shouldn't be there, but that's not that's a side issue. The important issue here is there's a person out there who's now not going to be able to graduate just because she did what she was allowed to do, and apparently now in Trump's America, actually not being a drone is a criminal offense. So if you're in Houston, Texas, or anywhere in America and you're watching this, and you know, this bothers you, well, it should. And if it doesn't, I don't even know what to say.